I'm Alec Baldwin, and you're listening to Marketing Trends and the Leeds Art Week.
If you've been to New York City and traipsed around Midtown, you've probably seen them everywhere. Bikes rolling up and down the city avenues, cleverly labeled Citi Bikes. But did you know that Mary Hines, the Chief Marketing Officer, U.S. Customer at Citi, helped orchestrate that partnership with the City of New York? Mary joined Marketing Trends to discuss why partnership marketing, like what happened with those bikes, needs to be seamless if you want to succeed. Plus, there's a conversation about the importance of aligning your values with the customer and why traditional campaigns are a thing of the past. Enjoy this episode. Marketing Trends Podcast is brought to you by Salesforce. We bring marketing and engagement together. Learn more at salesforce.com/marketing.
Here is your host, Ian Faison.
Welcome to Marketing Trends. I'm Ian Faison, host of Marketing Trends, and today we are joined by special guest, Mary. What's going on?
Hi, Ian. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us. We are excited to chat with you about your career and everything that is going on at Citi. But before we get into that, how did you get started in marketing in the first place?
Well, my path to marketing really hasn't been a linear one. I've had a lot of different roles. I initially, right after college, got into professional services and had senior roles at PricewaterhouseCoopers and Accenture. And then after business school, worked for another large financial institution. And I have had a variety of roles from product development, product management, business transformation to rewards. And I've been at Citi now 8 years, and the path's really not been any different here. I've had a variety of roles, all of which, though, are focused on maximizing our relationship with customers through solutions that put them at the center of everything we do within the business. First, I was in credit cards, and now I support the entire U.S. consumer bank, so including mortgage and the retail bank. And it's given me incredible insight on how to build cross-functional teams and really impact change. One of my greatest accomplishments while at Citi was transforming Citi's Thank You Rewards program. Initially, it was a US-based program that we expanded into 11 international markets. And this really was a great opportunity to have a global platform that was still enabled locally relevant offers for each of the markets. Today, we have over 12 million customers in the US on the platform and over 20 million globally. And that really positioned me well to take on all of marketing across U.S. consumer.
Yeah, that's incredible. And what a perfect tie-in to, marketing and how complex it is in today's day and age, right? It's like there's so many different facets that go into customer experience, customer loyalty being, a huge part of that. I'm curious, how do you see customer loyalty and marketing kind of those two worlds blending?
Yeah, that's a great point, Ian. Why I love marketing is that it really encompasses everything that the business does. And it's something that you have to think of the forefront of strategy, it has changed a lot over the last several years as technology has enabled you to really be everywhere your customers are. And loyalty is incredibly important as it drives purchase decisions and ongoing commitments to brand. And you want to make sure that you're integrated into your consumers' behaviors instead of trying to get them to integrate into what you have to offer. And loyalty is a great way to do that.
Yeah, that's the rub, isn't it? Right? We spend so much time as marketers trying to figure out where people are, how to meet them where they are and all those things. And then you have something like customer loyalty, where so much of it was historically extremely confusing and non-transparent. There's so many different things that you have to do in order to figure out how to use it. And marketing is all about making the complex simple. And it seems like customer loyalty a lot of times is about making something that is relatively non-complex, extremely complex, which is the exact opposite thing you want.
Yeah, I think a great example is when I got to Citi in 2012, 100% of redemptions for our rewards program were executed either by calling an agent and talking to them or by going to thankyou.com, our website, finding what you want. in redeeming. Where today, over 85% of our redemptions don't occur on either phone or through our site because we've embedded rewards where our customers are. So we have a number of features, whether it's using your thank you points at Amazon.com for purchases and your points show up as you're checking out to use as currency, or we have pay with points, which enables you to receive real-time alerts when you make purchases, and you can cover your charges right there with points. And what's great about that is I don't have to figure out what Ian wants to use his points for and go curate a collection. Ian gets to use exactly what he wants with those points that he works so hard to earn by doing his everyday activities. And that has just really been transformative for the loyalty program that we have.
And then do you market that loyalty program accordingly? Like, are you sharing and evangelizing those types of experiences?
Absolutely. We want our customers to understand the breadth and depth of what they can use those rewards points and really understand the value they get from being a Citi customer. So we have a variety of ways in which we educate our consumers about the options that they have. A lot, though, we try to integrate into mobile. Mobile is increasingly important in loyalty programs. We've done some surveys with customers around the importance of loyalty, and no surprise, 89% of customers say they'll be more loyal to stores where they have a rewards membership. But when we ask them the importance of that ability to use those rewards on mobile, that number jumped to 83% of consumers want to use mobile, and it's 94% with millennials. So we try to integrate rewards into that experience. In addition, we use really 360 marketing tactics. So we have, emails and direct mail and web banners and other ways in which to educate consumers about our offerings, because we want people to know that there is value in choosing Citi for your products and services.
Yeah, and I want to dive in a little deeper into that as well. If you were like you were coming into the role and looking at this, for the marketing leaders that are out there right now that are thinking about customer loyalty or trying to figure it out, and whether it's, a software company or whichever, what are the sort of like plays or things that you did that really worked? And then maybe some of the things that you all experimented on that didn't work as well?
It's really critical. And I think you mentioned simplicity before. It has to be really frictionless to engage with the loyalty program. So it's as much about the experience as it is what you're redeeming for. But both on how you earn rewards and as well as how you use them, customers need to be able to understand that. And we've had some, years ago, some ways in which you earn rewards that were actually quite valuable, but really hard for a customer to understand. For example, we would give you points for the miles that you flew in addition to the charges on your statement. So if you flew from New York to California, let's say that's 5,000 miles, you would get a point for all those, which was really, really valuable, but customers just didn't get it. So it was really hard to market. It's much easier for customers to understand when I make a airline purchase, I get 5 times spend. So that was a real learning for us, is you got to make sure there has to be value, but it has to be value that customers get. That's why our product Double Cash is so great. Also on the redemption side, especially when you do things digitally, it just has to be seamless. So we had launched this ability to create a virtual account number using your rewards points. And then you could use that account number, which was, just like a credit card account number, and go make a purchase online, which really met the customer need of wanting to redeem for anything that they wanted. But they had to create the number, write the number down, then go to the site and input the number. So it was really complicated, which really led to why we launched Pay with Points. All you have to do is enroll. You get a text message saying you made this purchase. Do you want to cover points? Super easy. So I think those are some great examples of where we learn the importance of the experience when having a loyalty program.
Yeah, the miles thing is always a really funny one, because it is like, if you ask the average person just like how many miles they flew from any place to any place, they would be like, I have no idea. Like, it's not even part of your DNA as a traveler. You're like, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me how much, it is from Oakland to, JFK. It's like, you never even look that up. So to use a measurement like that, it's like, it's not even something that would be in your mind anyways. So it's such a silly thing to try to explain to people, because it's just a lot of confusion and math, which nobody wants to be doing math anyways.
Yeah, nobody wants to do math. I mean, even when I said 5,000, I'm like, I think that's right. I mean, it's been so long since I got on a plane, given the situation. I couldn't remember how many miles it was to California.
Yeah, exactly right. So, and then what type of metrics or feedback did you see from those things that led to you to say, hey, I think we're on the right track here?
Oh, well, for the things that we've launched that have gone well, I mean, they've dramatically changed how people interact with us. Like, pay with points, which are the real-time alerts when you make purchases and you can use points, accounts for 15% of all travel redemptions. And we only launched it a few years ago. When it's, we have recognized that when you take the friction away, you see results immediately. We talk about our relationships that we have with merchants like Amazon.com, 1-800-Flowers, Best Buy, where you can use your thank you points when you're at checkout at those sites. Those have been amazing. I mean, on our consumers that use those redemption options use them on average of 5 times a year. So if you think of the power of that, every time your customer is shopping at their favorite merchants, they're seeing the value of using their thank you points and their corresponding Citi products. And what's interesting behavior is they don't use their entire bank. They're generally partially covering the purchase and partially using their bank. So I think it gives customers this, value of offsetting their everyday purchases. And when we talk to consumers about it, they just feel like it's really making wise purchase decisions. And it's great for our merchants too, because when they use points, they often have a higher basket size and more frequent interaction with the merchant.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I mean, I think that it seemed like perhaps, and I don't know this to be true, but it seemed like there's almost this kind of at odds piece with using points for in the industry over the years, where it's like, when do we want people to use points or things like that? And it kind of seems like what you're saying with some of the data is like, we actually do want people to make sure they are using it a lot, because it means they're super engaged, right?
Absolutely. We are. I mean, I think the olden days of rewards programs were to treat them as breakage models. So give the people the points, have them earn it, and then don't encourage them to use it. We want our customers to use our points. They earned them. They should use them for exactly what they want. And we know when they do, they will spend more with us. They will trade less and really become brand advocates.
What about, it can kind of, we always talk about, in marketing, it's tough when you don't have like that direct relationship with the customer all the time. Obviously you want customers to be, top of mind, to use their Citi card when they're making purchases. As a marketer, how do you think about kind of making sure that people are always thinking of you, that you're always top of mind, that that's the first thing that they grab?
Well, across marketing, in the customer life cycle, we try to ensure that they understand the value of the products and services and the reason why they should use the product. So, it starts from as soon as they get the product to a really intense early engagement campaign that enables them to know all the features and functionality of the products and what they get in return for using them. And we try to make those as personalized as possible, so that if you haven't, signed up for digital yet, and I have, I'll get a message trying to educate me on another piece of the product where we'll really drive you to digital, because we know that's the best way for you to have a seamless experience with us. In addition, we try to look at the behaviors of our customers and try to identify where there may be an opportunity to create a greater share of the relationship with them. For example, if I notice that you use your card at the grocery store and at gas stations, but never for travel, you might not know that we have these great travel accelerators. So I'll send you a communication that educates you on those accelerators and gives you a special limited time offer when you book for travel so that you can really understand the benefits of shopping, using our card for that category. So we really do have a variety of tactics, and we leverage the data we have on our consumers in order to make sure that they receive the most relevant interactions with us.
Yeah, as we were prepping for this episode, I was thinking about being that the top card in the wallet, or the featured placement in your credit card clip or whatever it is. Like, you always want the Citi card to be the one on the outside. I'm curious, like, as you're creating, paid campaigns and doing advertising and things like that, like, what are the types of things that you're trying to get? What types of behaviors are you trying to encourage with your awareness spend?
Well, a lot of our awareness spend is trying to get people to consider our products and services. So when we leverage our more performance marketing, that we can drive to acquisition. So it's giving people a reason to believe that the Citi products are the right ones for them. And that's really important to understand both the broad benefits of Citi products and services, as well as trying to highlight specific areas that may be of particular relevance at a certain time. Like, for example, with everything going on in COVID, a lot of our travel-based cards, while I certainly have value in the future, there isn't the ability to use those currencies today. So instead, we're really trying to shift to things that are more relevant. Like, for example, our Thank You Prestige card, which is our fee-based card. We are, instead of having we have on the card is 5 times spend on travel. We've also added on, for a limited time through the end of August, 5 times points on online spend, because we know that's where that consumer is spending today. They're not going on trips to Tahiti, so we want to make sure that we're still relevant given that. So we'll do marketing around that.
Oh yeah, that's really cool. That's a great idea. So, and something like that, how does that come about? Is that just like an internal conversation between, marketing and other leaders in the organization to say, like, hey, we need to be quick and responsive to make sure that, our folks are getting the most out of their card?
Absolutely. And we really do it across all of our products and services, whether it's credit card, retail bank, mortgage. When there's a changing trend in the marketplace, we want to make sure that we are reacting quickly to meet evolving customer needs. And there really has been no quicker change in the marketplace than COVID. So as early as March, we got together as a leadership team and created a task force to ensure that across everything we do, that we were having the right appropriate language, tone, visual imagery in light of this unprecedented time, ensure that our offers were relevant. So instead of marketing 3 times on dining, which would appear really tone deaf and irrelevant, we shifted to things like 3 times on restaurant takeout, streaming services. So things that were much more relevant to the time. And then recognizing that we were also going into a recessionary event, given the economic impacts, ensuring that we had the right assistance for our customers. So as much of our marketing that went out during this time was about how to use our products and services, it was also, how can we help you? We're actually really proud that we were one of the first banks to go out with a customer assistance program in early March. And we've continued with actions to make sure we're protecting our customers, and everything from if they need a payment deferment, they need their bank fees waived because their balances have gotten too low, or in just assuring them and educating them on the safety protocols that we put into place. We're, as an essential services, our branches for retail bank have still been open, and we want to make sure our customers know the social distancing measures we put in place, our cleaning protocols, everything to make them feel secure when they need to interact with us. So it's been a really interesting time, and we shifted our marketing just quite dramatically given the situation, with the most important goal is really to ensure that our customers know that we, Citi, are by their side during this time.
Yeah, it's an incredible response and something that I think we'll look back on and realize could be something that we kind of take through. This is just like how quickly we can respond in times of adversity, especially as a marketing organization, which we like to plan, we like to look at data and create long-term campaigns and things like that. But the ability to respond quickly is a muscle that you need to work out as well. And it's really cool to see those sort of things that happen so fast.
Yeah, it's been eye-opening for all of us. We've done things, I think another great example is the payroll protection program. Citi offered loans to our small business clients through that program. And we went and put up a digital lending platform and created an entire lead generator and marketing campaign in less than a month. It's something we never could have envisioned that we could do. But when you, as an organization, all align against the same goal and have the added part of you're really serving your clients and helping them through an incredibly difficult time, it's amazing what you can do.
Switching gears to some of the other campaigns, obviously you have a large suite of products. You have a lot of marketers that are working on those. One of the ones that I wanted to highlight in particular, you did a really cool one in 2019 about the gender pay gap, which I thought was just really well done. And for our listeners, you can kind of Google it and find it out. But whether it's that campaign or other campaigns that you've done in the past, how do you think about, making sure that you're having the right message, not only just about products and services, but about the broader discussion for things that are, clearly need more attention, like the gender pay gap or things like that?
Yeah, at Citi, we take great pride in taking a stand on issues. And I think pay equity is a great one. We've been very vocal. It's sharing our raw pay gap, which I believe we were the first to do. And we back it up with just not sharing the numbers, which clearly had opportunity. But we've also had a tremendous amount of initiatives to help acquire, retain, and promote women and Black. And we have actually had specific targets for those in order to make sure that we actually deliver against those change. I'm on the global steering committee for Citi Women, so I've been really close to a lot of those initiatives. And it's not just that on average men make more than women and seeing the shock on their faces, both young boys and girls, but we also do a lot to help our clients in the world and to support inequities, whether it's pay or discrimination. And it's something that we at Citi are very proud of.
Yeah, it's a really well done campaign. It kind of highlights the simplicity and the elemental nature of how important these kind of dialogues are. But it's cool to see companies like yours actually put ad spend behind it, because I think that leveraging channels like that is really important, and it shows who you are as a company. Again, beyond just products and services. Like how do you plan those sort of things? Like, is it part of a broader campaign that you're working on? Is it something that's separate? Is it budgeted separately? Like, how do you look at, those sort of things versus, other campaigns?
Well, when we look at things like that, it's much more about supporting the Citi brand, but we want to ensure that all the way through the line, there's relevance of it. The pay equity campaign was specifically about wanting to share Citi's commitment to diversity. We try to thread the line in all we do. I mean, even in our advertising communications, we want to make sure that we have the correct representation of women, and we follow all of the guidelines associated with how you represent women in advertising. In other areas, for example, in COVID-19, Citi made a number of contributions to organizations. A great example is World Central Kitchen, which is an organization that feeds frontline workers, leveraging, in this case, restaurant workers that were unemployed due to COVID-19. So it was actually a nice way to support the front line and those who are unemployed while Citigroup made a contribution, we understood from our customers they were looking for ways in which they could help be part of the solution. We struggled also with the reality that consumers didn't want to go out into the world during this time and really wanted them to use digital. And by the way, all of the world was on lockdown, so our call centers had heavy absenteeism and really resulted in long hold times. So a nice way to bring all of those problems to solution is we took World Central Kitchen relationship we had, donated an additional $1 million on behalf of our customers. And what we asked our customers who didn't engage with us digitally was engage with us digitally during the month of May, and we'll make a $5 donation to World Central Kitchen. By customers doing that, they had a better experience because there's no hold times, and our digital experiences are very seamless once people try them. And they were able to help contribute to a cause that made them feel like they were being part of the solution. And it also laddered up to a bigger contribution by Citi overall. And we're finding that cause-based marketing is becoming increasingly important. And when consumers choose brands, they want to be associated with brands that support society.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is clearly going to be a massive trend that continues as we go. I mean, I think there's so much, we've recently had on had a marketing at Chaco's, like these type of brands that have been around for a long time that really stand for something. And then, like their response to COVID was like, hey, we have this factory, we can make masks, we can do, whatever. And it's like, it's all of those little things that you see, these companies that do have, social enterprise and have a real commitment to those things, it exudes through the entire rest of the company. And I think that, the way that those companies like, market and present themselves to their current customer base and to new customers can change a bunch. And for a company like yours who partners with a lot of these people, it's really, there's opportunities for, some win-win marketing. I'm curious, like how you look at partnerships and things like that.
We look to leverage our partner ecosystem in order to deliver, the best value for our customers. When it comes to things like, purpose-driven marketing, those can often come together. And I think a great example of a marketing investment we made was in the New York City area as well as Miami. We have Citi Bikes, which is a bike share program. We have the branding on it. We've had that relationship 6 or 7 years. I think it was right when I got to Citi. And during this time, given the front line didn't want to get on, needed to go to work and didn't necessarily want to get on public transportation, Citi actually gave all the frontline workers in New York a year-long membership to Citi Bike. So that was a great way of leveraging that partnership in a bigger way, given that time.
That's wild. That's really cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it's really an interesting, I guess, positive outcome of what we're all going through is how much people want to help and how much people care. And we've done some research, and there was an Edelman study that showed that 64% of consumers make their buying decisions based on a company's social or political stance. So it's really also important for us, not just ensuring that our customers want to do business with us. It's also really important when we recruit talent into Citi. They want to be associated with engaged companies. So it's really important. And that's where when we think about partnerships, it's not just about the business outcome. Obviously that's important, but it's really about what is the stance we want to take as a company.
With real-time customer engagement and personalization, obviously like at the forefront of every marketing conversation these days, obviously you all do a bunch of out-of-home stuff. You do, TV spots and digital and everything. I'm curious, like, how do you blend those things together to reach your customers in real time? How do you vary those messages across channels and make a sense of this kind of channel overload that we have now?
Yeah, well, and this is where there's been so many advancements in MarTech that enable us to deliver in a much more personalized way in the channel that is most relevant for a particular customer. So we have a lot of trigger communications based on the activities that a particular consumer goes through that would ensure that something is relevant. For example, if you go and make a $500 purchase at Best Buy, I can trigger an email to you asking if you want to turn that into an installment loan and have a low interest rate over a fixed period of time. And you can get that right after you make the purchase. So it feels incredibly relevant. Similarly, the points example that I shared with you, that as soon as you take the action, we're able to serve up the ability to use points for it, makes it feel much more relevant and very different than the old days where the only way I could really reach you was sending something in the mail that you'd get 7 to 10 days later, at which point it would probably be irrelevant. And we're finding even channels like direct mail, technology is enabling us to make that much more relevant. So if you go on and you're to our card application and you abandon it halfway through, I have your cookied information and can then trigger a direct mail piece with that same offer and find people respond to that at a much higher response rate than those who didn't just received a regular direct mail. So there's all sorts of really cool channel interplays that we're able to action these days because of the advancements in marketing technology.
Any particular channels that you're really interested in or exploring right now?
Well, digital obviously will continue to be more and more important. And, external digital channels and our ability to target people and with the right offer at the right time is a lot of the focus. We want to make sure that we're able to, there's a lot of information out there on consumers, and when we are able to use it in digital to target, we can give much better offers. So, the beauty of direct mail is I know a lot about you. In the cards business, I pulled your credit bureau. I know what your outstanding debt is. I know exactly what APR I'm able to offer you. We're able to do things like that with digital as we get more information. So we don't have to have the broad scale offer that everyone sees that may not be relevant to only a few. Now we can be much more targeted and get the most out of our marketing spend.
Was there anything particular that when you came into the role of CMO, that was like a big change for you or something that you kind of didn't see coming?
Well, it was a big change overall. I had been in financial services since 2003, but had always worked in the credit card business. So having the opportunity to lead marketing across a consumer bank, so including retail bank and mortgage, was an incredible learning opportunity, but also eye-opening about how you really need to speak to your customer at a customer level and not just about the individual products and service they have. We have a huge opportunity to deepen the relationships we have across product lines with our consumers. And by having that overarching view of the customer, it's really brought upon a lot of opportunities for us to be smarter in how we spend money, how we manage our agencies, how we invest in technology. Because at the end of the day, whether you have a card or a checking account or a mortgage, a lot of the underlying marketing techniques and capabilities can be common. And we're better able to present Citi to our consumers when we're united as one brand. It's also, I love this job because you're a general manager. One day you're looking at your next advertising campaign to going into the detailed technicalities of how to improve your quality score in paid search. There's just a variety of different roles that you play as a CMO, which I don't think I realized until I had the opportunity to take it on.
I know we've talked about a few here, but do you have any favorite campaigns that you've done over the years?
Well, I really have loved the work that we've done around Thank You Rewards Plus, which is a product we launched January of 19. And it really targets those customers who are looking for how to maximize their everyday purchases. And it was a campaign that I thought we really delivered through the line. So our TV ads were very emotive, but showed the value prop well, all the way to the acquisition pieces. They felt really connected and brought awareness around a unique value prop that really drives engagement with our consumers.
Was that a bunch of different channels? Did you have TV spots or what went into that?
Yeah, we really the gamut. It was TV ads, digital videos, and programmatic through every below the line, direct mail, affiliates. Affiliates are really big with credit cards. And of course, our standard direct mail. So all those channels work together. And what was really exciting about that product is, in addition to us acquiring net new customers for Citi, we also were able to convert others who were on more of a legacy product to this one, and resulting in them even using the product more. So to your point earlier around top of wallet behavior, that is the nirvana in credit cards. It helped really transform how people used our products to really get a greater share.
Are there any trends that you're watching in marketing that, from a technology perspective that you see that are stuff that you're going to put some resources or energy or anything like that behind?
We have a pretty significant, what we're calling our MarTech roadmap. I think overall brands are switching from being campaign-based to journey-based, which really enables a new level of personalization.
Yeah.
There's also just new channels like CTC, cut the cord. So that, for those who don't have cable and don't watch TV, how are we able to integrate in those channels? I think a lot of the streaming services are examples of, these are really areas where we'll want to do more video ads moving forward. And how are you able to, because you might know more exactly who that consumer is, have the right targeted information. And a lot of it is, we're a financial services company, so we're highly regulated. How can you leverage technology to deliver a really customized, personalized experience in a controlled, compliant manner? And it's really new ground. You have to move away from manual people looking at things, because if you have 1,000 versions of an email, you can't have one compliance officer reviewing it all. So you have to have the technology and auditing capabilities built into it. So spending a lot of time on that, because that I definitely think is going to continue to transform how we interact with our customers.
Okay, let's get into our lightning round. These questions are fast and easy. Just like marketing with Salesforce, you can go to salesforce.com/marketing to learn more about marketing built on the world's #1 CRM, that is Salesforce. They've been with us since the very beginning of Marketing Trends. We love them. Check them out, everyone. Salesforce.com/marketing. Lightning round questions. Mary, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Number 1, is there a certain habit that you've picked up during the shelter in place that you didn't have before?
Yes, I am obsessed with Peloton. I had one delivered right before lockdown, and I now get on 5 times a week.
Oh, there you go. I'm sure Hillary is doing backflips somewhere. She's our resident Peloton. What is it? Multi-miler every day? I don't know what it is. Many miles. Okay. What about a book or TV show or podcast that you've read or listened to recently you particularly enjoyed?
Well, I have been watching Homeland over a 9-year span and finally finished it. And I did enjoy it, but I have 2 young children, so my ability to watch TV or read while managing Google Classroom and work has been a little rough, but did manage to complete the final season.
How about a skill or hobby that not a lot of people know about?
Well, that's a tough one. Well, I'm a huge wine connoisseur. I don't know if that counts as a skill or a hobby, but it's one I certainly enjoy.
Yeah, it's a bit of both. Sure. I think that's both.
Well, the quarantine's also been good for wine sales.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I know all of the wine of the month club, I'm sure are doing just fine. What's your best piece of advice for a first-time CMO?
Really learn, and with a focus of understanding your consumer needs, so that you can orient your organization and your investment around delivering those.
What question do you never get asked that you wish you were asked more often?
What makes you most proud as a leader?
What does make you most proud?
Your team wanting to work for you and follow your vision.
That's a great one. Well, that's it. That's all we got for today, Mary. Thanks so much for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Marketing Trends Podcast is brought to you by Salesforce. Discover marketing built on the world's #1 CRM, Salesforce. Put your customer at the center of every interaction. Automate engagement with each customer and build your marketing strategy around the entire customer journey. Salesforce. We bring marketing and engagement together. Learn more at salesforce.com/marketing.